All right, here we go into the unknown. Sorry if the camera is a little shaky. I don't have a Steadicam attachment, but we'll make do. Get the newly acquired key here. Get this thing opened up. All right. What we've got here is the downstairs unit, and then this house was broken into two separate units, and we go up this nice looking staircase here, and we'll come back to that as we come around through the property. All right, this is what the original front room of the house would be. And forgive me for heading to the light like that, but this is kind of what sold me on the property. This fireplace around, and this apparently has got some the original glazed tile, because it's all cracked up. Looks like it's been sitting here for a long time. Oop, there I am. Kind of see me. And like all houses that are quickly, covered up with drop ceilings and the paneling, wood paneling. We'll head down what is now the bedroom in this area here, which undoubtedly was part of the living room, but and then at some point they added a bathroom. And as we continue on into the house, we continue into, I guess we call this an eat-in kitchen. Again, paneling, drop ceilings. See if we can turn some lights on here. Wonder what that switch does. Flip it and find out. Oh, you can turn the lights on from either entrance. So yeah, a lot of paneling to pull down. This is the laundry room area. We got a switch in here, and another bathroom with oh, that's noisy, with what I would call a airliner shower, because if airliners had showers, this is probably the size they would be. Little closet space. Let's see what we got. Yes, stairway up to a second floor room that's separate from the apartment. That's upstairs, which is kind of strange. I don't know, is there any light switches? You would think. Step in here. See, up here high, huh? Okay, yes, so another This was probably originally a back staircase to the house. You could come down into the living room or come down from the back side of upstairs into the kitchen. And then there's this room up here. It's kind of a nifty little room, but I think, well, once I get the paneling off, we'll see what it is we really end up with. Our closet space. Is there a light? Light that doesn't work. But I envision that this project would have a hallway instead of this room, and it would go to the front of the house, and so you could come up and down either way. We'll see once we get. The treads are a little narrow on this staircase, and it looks like there's a good head thumper right here. I guess sometimes being below average height has its advantages. And so, okay, back down into the laundry room, and you go into this space here, and if you see switch, if you got your electrical panel, and then you've got access to the dungeon. Crawled, it's a little more than a crawl space. It's kind of a Hunchback from Notre Dame space. You can walk into some of it at least, but we'll get to that eventually. So let's go out the back door and see what we have here. A little patio that probably needs a wee bit of working. Siding needs to be cleaned. And sidewalk out to the alley. Let's see what we can do. Get out this way. So yeah, first thing we'll be doing is just doing general cleanup, mowing the grass, edging, things of that nature. And looks like I've got some padlocks that okay, that one's not actually latched, so that's good. Looks like I've got a couple of garbage and recycle bins here, so that's nice. Don't know what's in here besides bugs. Probably a lot of bugs, and just a tiny little bit of storage. That's all. At least there's things are not locked, so I don't have to go cutting a bunch of locks off. Oh, and some of this wood fence is pretty much, yeah, it looks pretty much like crap. Pretty rotten. Crap's how I usually feel most of the time. So let's walk up the side of the yard here, see what we've got. Okay. Yeah, probably gonna have to do a little pointing on some of this stone. This is an interesting thing here. I wonder if this was kind of an emergency exit to get out of the crawl space, out of the case. I don't know what would have happened, but it's an interesting feature. A big old tree, probably ought to be trimmed. But let's go back around the side. Here is our electric meter and whatnot over here. Fairly recent electrical service put in. So let's proceed back in and head into the upstairs space. Alright, now let's take a look at the upstairs space. And do they have a light for the stairway? It doesn't look like it, but you can see how they, somewhat how they split this up. Got a nice newel post here, and the banister, the spindles all look intact. Stairs themselves, there's rubber treads on the center, so that's protected the wood. And so from the looks of it, that should clean up real nice. Look real nice when it's done. Here's probably an original bathroom. Not quite sure what that electrical panel is all about. That will have to be checked out. The tub's interesting, but probably I will be hiring people to get that out of here, because cast iron will be a little on the heavy side. Some light. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. See, this was another apartment, so they had to put in a small kitchen, so somewhere along the line, I'm thinking behind this wall here, especially based on that change in baseboard wood, there may have been a pass-through to get to from the front of the house to the back of the house. And as you can see, again, more and more paneling, more and more drop ceilings. A little pantry here, we'll see where that ends up. And transoms over the doorway. Here's a bedroom for this unit. Maybe this one is, we shall see. Maybe this room was pretty much original based on the woodwork over the doors, and maybe the other side of that door will clean up. Look like the back side of it at some point. So, electric fireplace, that'll be coming out. And head on down the hallway here. And what we got? We got a little closet. And we'll see how these, we can clean up these floors and bring them back to life. That'll be interesting. And possibly this was an original footprint for this room as well. Another narrow little closet. Original hardware, looks like. Pretty old hardware anyway. But we're going to have to look. Yeah, no drop ceiling in this room, but we got what looks like some water damage, so we're going to have to get that roof looked at and get it patched in and fix that up. Yeah, this room may have been an original bedroom, and possibly this one is well, but only time will tell once the ceilings are down and the paneling's off the walls and this kitchen is ripped out. We will have a better idea what we're working with. Yeah, water's been sitting in these pipes for a while. So, yeah, we've got a refrigerator using up electricity, which I will start paying for as of tomorrow. I don't think so. I think we will turn this puppy off. Later. Screwdriver would help with that. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is the project, and this nice old banister, the scratches on here for the most part just scratches to the finish, so this should clean up real nice. Clean up real nice. All right, that's my pig in the poke. So we'll get back to you as things get started here. Alright, finally getting back to taking a look at the crawl space, which I affectionately call the gateway to hell. We'll get back to this later. Alright, things seem to have quieted down here in the crawl space. So let's head on down. These stairs are kind of steep, and it's easier to go down these kinds of steps backwards. So let's Make our way on down. Here we go. And right off the bat, we find that we've got some rot at the bottom of these steps. Now this is my first experience with crawl space, and this is also my first experience with a house from the 1900s. And as you can see, I get out of my own shadow here, you can see that the foundation is made out of stone, and concrete block, which a lot of us are familiar with, wasn't even really readily available until the U.S. government took an interest in it around 1908, and then so sometime after that it came more commercially viable and mass produced, and prior to that it was handmade and pretty expensive, so they used stone. Stone was the only material for making foundations, and there's a little bit of brick on top of that, but it also has some issues, I suppose. Knowing what I know now, let's go in here. This light fixture is temperamental, and not wanting to come on now, of course, now that we're down here wanting to take a look. But at least the one in the back is working, and with the level of this crawl space goes down to this point here, and you can see, thank goodness, it's a high efficiency furnace, and it's gas, and the hot water heater is pretty new, and it's a gas hot water heater, so that's a good thing. We've got a sump pump here, blasted light, I don't know why. Needs new tubes. I don't know if I want to bother with it. Here we go. I don't know if I want to bother with replacing the tubes or just get a new LED. But here's part of the problem, and this wasn't like this yesterday, and yeah, I can only assume it's ground moisture. And there's our sumpy pump. So now water had been collecting over in this area here too, but at the moment it seems pretty dry, and you can see there's a lot of debris that at some point I'm going to have to pull out of here and get in a dumpster or something. But yeah, years and years of cobwebs and spider webs, so much so that they come off in sheets, and I'm probably going to have a mason come out and check. But it looks like I've also got some settling along the floor relative to these pillars here, these supports, and I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm actually kind of surprised these only look like 2x8s for floor joists. Of course they're probably a full 2 inches. I had to, it smelled so bad down here, I had to find a way to get these windows open, and there were some these expandable screen things that I've sort of kind of got in place, and I'm getting some fresh air in here. I can tell you it has made a world of difference. Doesn't smell nearly as bad down here. And then this window's open, and the screen's in there for the most part to let some air flow through here. So yeah, this is first time to the introduction to the crawl space, the 1900 era home construction, and at this point I'm not so sure I'm fond of it, but it's what I get. Maybe I did buy a pig in a poke. Alright, that's the crawl space, or the portal to hell. And I don't know, this must be an abandoned sewer connection here. It looks really messy and I'll have to deal with, but yep, welcome to my project.